Hello, this is Lacquerography and welcome to my Festivus rack for 2023. This year I've chosen 18 different polishes, all of them untried, to wear throughout the month of December and maybe beyond. Some of these polishes I can extend well into winter as well, so I have a lot of flexibility with the 18 polishes that I've chosen here and swatched out on the swatch wheel. Let's take a look at the first polish pick. So first up, I'm taking a look at Wintery Blues. The first polish up is by Rogue Lacquer. And this one is called Frosted Flakes. And this one was from winter 2020, although I acquired this one quite a bit later than that. At the time, it was through the stockist, Girly Bits Cosmetics. Now, Girly Bits Cosmetics has decided to focus more on the making of products rather than acting as a stockist and has handed that responsibility off to Gracie J & Co. So I actually chose this as a blue pick for things like Hanukkah and solstice and just cold winter nights. So I chose this polish as part of my blues selections, and I chose this one to represent Hanukkah, solstice, and cold winter nights. This polish is described as a petrol blue squishy crelly with platinum silver metallic flakes. And here is Frosted Flakes on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. Just a really nice deep navy with some sparkle in there as well. The navy actually at times looks nearly black, but it is clearly blue. Just a really nice, I think, elegant, deep color that I'm going to look forward to wearing to honor Hanukkah, perhaps solstice or cold winter nights this year. So my first pick is by Rogue Lacquer, Frosted Flakes. This next pick also represents Wintery Blues. This one is also by Rogue Lacquer. I purchased it actually at the same time as the previous one. This one is called Spin Me Right Round. This polish is described as a white jelly with silver, gold, and blue metallic flakes. Again, I've chosen this one to represent Hanukkah or also just winter days, maybe freshly fallen snow. This one came from the 8 Crazy Nights collection by Rogue Lacquer in October of 2021. I also picked this one up through Girly Bits Cosmetics quite a bit later than that, when Girly Bits Cosmetics was acting as a stockist for Rogue Lacquer, and now again that honor has been passed along to Gracie J & Co. And here's that pick, Spin Me Right Round by Rogue on the swatch wheel. It's just a really nice sparkly crelly. I think it's a beautiful wintry color. I can wear this one representing Hanukkah or winter or freshly fallen snow. And also this one, if I don't get around to wearing it this holiday season, it can also extend well, I think, onto my winter rack. So this pick is by Rogue Lacquer, Spin Me Right Round. My final pick in sort of that blue range, representing winter blues, this one is by Essie. And this one is Carols and Caviar. It's number 1764. I got a good deal on this one at my local drugstore in the clearance section, actually last spring, which was a great find for only $2. Carols and Caviar is described as a blackened gray with blue undertones. And again, this is one that I have chosen to represent Hanukkah, also solstice, and also just winter days. I think it's a really elegant looking blackened gray, almost navy. I think it's a nice addition to my holiday rack this season. Here it is on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I do love that grayed out kind of look to this one. To me, it softens a very deep color a little bit, even though it is such a dark gray that it's quite blackened. But I do hope that it'll be a nice, elegant pick, maybe even sort of a palette cleanser in an odd way. It's a dark palette cleanser, but It is a little bit plainer than some of my other picks on the swatch wheel, and I'm really looking forward to trying this one out. So this one is by Essie, Carols and Caviar, number 1764. Next up, I'm looking at some holiday reds. My first pick in my holiday reds is by Polish, and this one is called There's No Place Like Home, and I got this one from Polish Pickup from February in 2023. There's No Place Like Home is described as a bright ruby slipper red with red gold microflake shimmer. And this one was from Polish Pickup from February 2023, and the theme that month for the makers was movie quotes, and this one, of course, was inspired by The Wizard of Oz, one of my favorites. I just thought this beautiful shimmery red, which is an untried in my collection, would be a perfect pick when I'm looking for a bright red, shimmery, sparkly pick. Here is There's No Place Like Home on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. It's a really beautiful ruby red, cherry red with a great shine and sparkle and shimmer to it. I'm really looking forward to trying this one out this holiday season. So this one is by Polish. There's No Place Like Home. The next red up is again quite sparkly, but a little bit more pink leaning. This one is by Rogue Lacquer again. And this one is called Until the Last Petal Falls. And this one is from March 2023's Hella Handmade Creations. And the ongoing theme for this maker for Hella Handmade Creations was Beauty and the Beast. This polish is described as a rose red hollow microflake polish. There's a little bit more of like a pinky flare picking up there in those flakes. So here is Rogue Lacquer's Until the Last Petal Falls on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. Still a really beautiful red. My eyes are picking up a little bit more of a rosy color to it, leaning a little bit more pink than the previous one. And I'm really looking forward to trying this one out over the holiday season. Reds are a newfound love for me. I don't actually have too many of them, so I'm looking forward to trying these new ones that I've picked up fairly recently. So this second red is by Rogue Lacquer, Until the Last Petal Falls. The last one in this red category is by Black Dahlia Lacquer. And this one is called The Cabin. And I picked this one up through Little Box of Horrors back in November of 2022. The Cabin is described as a plum crelly that shifts from red, gold, and copper and features red aurora flakies and red reflective glitter. The inspiration for this one actually is not very holiday at all. This one was inspired by Evil Dead. The inspiration was the sunset-like shades created when the cabin engulfed in flames. And the inspiration was Evil Dead. So not very festive at all, but I loved the depth of this plum color and also the sparkle to it as well. I thought that this would be a good time of year to wear a polish like this one. And here is Black Dahlia Lacquer, The Cabin, on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. So really nice sparkle to this one. I'd love to see this one out in the sunlight as well. I think this is a little bit of a vampier Christmas pick, a little bit deeper of a red plum, just for some variety, and that sparkle I thought was really appropriate for the holiday season. So this pick is by Black Dahlia Lacquer, The Cabin. The next category up are greens. There's quite a bit of variety in the greens that I chose for my rack. This first polish up from my green category is by Cirque Colors, and this one is called Emerald. Emerald is described as a jewel tone green jelly nail polish with sparkling holographic flakes. It says this gemstone inspired shade shines bright, mimicking the fire and scintillation of precious jewels. Such a fabulous sparkle for this one. Here is Cirque's Emerald on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I just thought this was a really beautiful holiday looking green with a great amount of sparkle. I'm really looking forward to wearing this one. I'm a lover of greens. I can't believe that I haven't worn this polish for my collection yet. So this one is Cirque Colors Emerald. The second polish up in my green category is a very different type of green. This one is by Fair Maiden, and this one is called You Can Call Me Green Bean Royals. And this one is from Polish Pickup from this past June of 2023. This polish came from the Polish Pickup of June 2023, where the theme for all makers was misheard song lyrics. The misheard song lyric for this one was from the song Royals by Lorde. You Can Call Me Green Bean, or I guess it should be Queen Bee. This one is described as a delicate pastel pea green packed with iridescent flake and subtle hints of fiery aurora shimmer. And here is the Fair Maiden polish on my swatch wheel. And here it is up against my skin tone. It really is a fresh, almost springy looking green, but I was really taken by the flakies and the sparkle to this one, and I thought it would actually be a really interesting take on a holiday polish this holiday season, something a little bit different. And I do love greens, and I thought that this sparkle would be something a little bit special for the holiday season. It could if I'm feeling ambitious as well. I'm not much of a nail artist, but if I do decide to dabble in a little bit of nail art, this one could prove to be an interesting light base for some nail art. We'll see how that goes though. So this one is by Fair Maiden. You Can Call Me Green Bean from Royals. My final polish up in the green category is the one that I'm wearing on my nails right now. This one is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Hey Hey Kind of Day. And this one is from October 2022's Polish Pickup. The theme for Polish Pickup for the month of October 2022 was sidekicks, and this polish was inspired by Hey Hey from Moana. That's actually a movie I've never seen before. Maybe this holiday season I should check it out. This polish is described as having a teal jelly base filled with red to orange to gold shimmer and copper reflective glitter. Now, just for consistency's sake, here it is on my swatch wheel that's swatched out in 2 coats. Actually, all of these ones here have been swatched out in 2 coats on my swatch wheel with a regular glossy top coat on top. So here it is on the swatch wheel, so you can compare it to some of the others. And here this one is against my skin tone. Again, a little bit redundant since I'm wearing it here on my nails. The difference though is actually on my nails, I did choose to wear this one with a glitter smoothing top coat and then a glossy top coat on top. Because of the glitter, it does leave a little bit of a texture behind. Actually, the texture is not so much with just a single coat here on the swatch wheel of just regular glossy top coat, but I just love the way that a glitter smoothing top coat really plumps out the manicure and brings out just an ultimate amount of shine. I really love that look compared to this one that does still appear a little bit flatter because that reflective glitter does prove to be a little bit thirsty. Yeah, such a great contrasting shimmer in this one. And as I said, I really do love that plumped up look with the glitter smoothing top coat. So my final pick for my green category is by Night Owl Lacquer. and this one is Hey Hey Kind of Day. The next category up, I've got 6 of them that I considered holiday polishes, although I've kind of got them 3 and 3. I've got kind of pale holiday crellies over here, white or off-white, and then I have other festive polishes here. So I guess we'll call it my festive polish picks. My first very Christmassy pick is by ILNP, and this one is called Christmas Cookie. Christmas Cookie is described as a deliciously fresh, white-based speckled nail polish, and it's got some really great metallic flakies in there. My eye is picking up green and red, and there could perhaps be another color in there as well. I'm not seeing gold, but it could be perhaps silver, but predominantly I'm seeing red and green. And here is Christmas Cookie on my swatch wheel. Really delicate colored flakes in there. And here it is against my skin tone. The reason why I chose this one this year is this one really is truly a holiday polish. I really don't think that I could get away with wearing this one at any other time of year, even though the specs in it are really quite subtle. They are still clearly red and green, very holiday leaning. I just thought this was a beautiful white crelly with a holiday touch without being overtly in your face festive. So a little bit of a subtle pick for me in terms of a holiday polish out of these next 6. So this one is by ILNP, Christmas Cookie. This next one up, the moment I saw this one when it was being advertised for sale, I knew I had to have this, and I knew immediately what the inspiration for this one must have been. So this one is by Danny Viana. This one is called Warm Hugs Needed, and this one is from Polish Pickup from October 2022. So this polish is described as a sheer white crelly base packed with clear holographic glitters, black irregular glitter, and orange triangle glitters. And this one came from Polish Pickup of October 2022, and it was the Sidekicks theme for all makers. And this one, of course, was inspired by Olaf. I just love the deconstructed snowman look here. The moment I saw this, I knew instantly that it was inspired by snowmen, or a snowman in this case, specifically Olaf. As an elementary teacher working with young kids, I knew that this polish had to join my collection, and I have the feeling that when I wear this one is going to be a big hit with the kids. So here's the incredible Warm Hugs Needed on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I just think this one is so much fun and so whimsical. I really do love it. And this is one that I chose to go on my holiday December Festivus Christmas rack because of the snowman inspiration. And also, this is one that I can extend if I can't get around to wearing this one. I can add this polish to my winter rack as well. And especially when the snow falls, hopefully a big accumulation so I can get out there with my young students and we can build snowmen together. This one, I just think this one's going to be a really special one this holiday season. And I very much look forward to wearing this. And I'm so glad to have it in my collection. I have never seen anything quite like it. This one is by Danny Viana. Warm Hugs Needed. The next one up of my holiday picks, this is the last of my pale white or off-white crellies. This one is one of the newest ones to my collection. This one is by Potion Polish, and this one is called Santa Paws, and this one was a holiday charity polish of theirs. Potion Polish released Santa Paws as part of their holiday collection back in November of 2021. That was actually before I even knew that Potion Polish existed. I was only just able to acquire this polish recently, just this past fall of 2023. This one is described as a soft mint crelly dappled with festive red, green, and silver hollow pieces. I just thought that the mint base to this one was a really beautiful one. And actually this one reminds me a little bit of this great festive ice cream that we have in my part of the world. President's Choice, I believe it's candy cane fudge crackle. And it's this candy cane ice cream, and it's got that slight greenish base, greenish tint to the ice cream base due to a little bit of that candy cane dye that's seeped into the vanilla ice cream. And anyway, it just had such a nostalgic look to me. I had to pick this one up when I saw it was available on the Potion Polish website this past fall. Here is Potion Polish Santa Paws on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I really do enjoy the softness of that mint green base color. It's something a little bit different, although it has quite a festive, Christmassy flair with the glitters sparkling away in there. Totally unique in my collection. This polish is by Potion Polish, Santa Paws. Continuing with my very festive Christmassy picks, this one moves away from the whites and off-whites. This polish is by Moonshine Manny, and this one is I Wish It Was Christmas Today. And this one came from Hella Handmade Creations from November 2022. Moonshine Manny was inspired by Saturday Night Live for this polish series. It lasted quite a few months, and each polish that was produced month after month was inspired by different popular sketches by Saturday Night Live. And I have to admit, this one continues to be one of my favorite holiday sketches as well. Saturday Night Live has had such an incredible collection of excellent sketches for the holiday season, and I Wish It Was Christmas Today is one of my favorites. So the description that goes along with this polish is that it came from the series inspired by SNL, inspired by one of my favorite Christmas skits where Horatio Sands, Jimmy Fallon, Chris Kattan, and Tracy Morgan perform an original holiday tune, I Wish It Was Christmas Today. And it's described as a maroon jelly filled with green and white glitters. And this polish does make me wish that it was Christmas today. It has all the great Christmassy vibes. Here it is on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I really love this almost cranberry type base. My family makes a great homemade, straight from cranberries with really no sweetener involved. It's very tart cranberry sauce. They make a homemade cranberry sauce. And this one, that base color really reminds me of that homemade cranberry sauce that my mom makes every Christmas. And those holiday sparkles, there's no way I could get away with wearing this cool polish any other time of the year other than now. So I'm very excited to get this one on my nails for the very first time. And I also look forward to having the brilliant original song, I Wish It Was Christmas Today, ringing through my head the whole time I wear this polish. If you've never seen the sketch before, I think it's worth a look. So this polish is by Moonshine Manny. I Wish It Was Christmas Today. The fifth of my holiday novelty category is by Linby Designs, and this one is called Trend Sweater. Such a great, happy, festive mix of colors. It made me think of ugly Christmas sweaters and all the incredible adornments. This polish came out back in March of 2021, and it came from their collection called Fashion is Art. This one is described as a pale orange sherbet base chock full of a rainbow of hollow hex glitters. And here is this one on the swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. I just thought this one was so much fun. It really did remind me of kitschy, ugly sweaters that you see at the holiday season. I just thought it was a really interesting take on something festive and sparkly without being overtly Christmassy, although I still see a lot of Christmas in this one with those happy, sparkly glitters. So this one is by Linby Designs, Trend Sweater. Now the final one of my 6 Christmassy picks, this one is by Nailed It, and this one is called Sweet Scent. And this one is from Hella Handmade Creations, and it's from the ongoing Pokemon series. So this polish was purchased back in October of 2022 from Hella Handmade Creations, and the brand Nailed It has had incredible success with an ongoing series inspired by Pokemon. It's lasted well over a year, and I've been able to pick up several from this collection that continues month upon month. So this polish is described as a very pale pink tinted base with a strong pink to gold shifting shimmer and metallic red flakies. And here this one is on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. This one really reminded me of candy canes, a candy cane ice cream, perhaps a candy cane white hot chocolate, some sort of a fancy festive drink like that. The moment I purchased this one and I opened it up, this one just screamed holiday to me. I might be able to get away with wearing this one at other times of year, but every time I look at it, I think of Christmas time when I see it. So that's why I pulled this one as one of my 6 Christmas time picks. So that 6th Christmassy pick is by Nailed It, Sweet Scent. For my final 3 picks, I chose winter sparkly polishes, metallics, and also, of course, a snowy sparkly white. The first of the sparkly picks is a silver, and this one is by Hearts and Promises, and this one is called Grease Lightning. This one also came from Hella Handmade Creations, but I purchased this one back in June of 2022. This polish continued the series inspired by Grease that Hearts and Promises had put out for several months back in 2022. This polish is described as having a silver base with assorted silver micro glitters, as well as silver reflective glitter and rainbow iridescent flakies. Here it is on my swatch wheel in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here it is against my skin tone. So much incredible sparkle, the silver, the rainbows jumping off the nail as well. And actually, interestingly enough, there is a tiny bit of texture to this one, but it's really not that bad, just with a single layer of regular top coat to this one. So you could get away with just 1 coat of glossy top coat on top, or just to be safe, you could add a 2nd coat or use a glitter smoothing top coat as well. Just such a great festive sparkling polish. I had to add this one to my rack. So this one is by Hearts and Promises, Grease Lightning. Next polish up is my gold holiday polish. This one is by Fair Maiden, and this one is called 5 Golden Rings. This is a polish that I actually don't have an official description for. I picked this one up last year during the holiday season. In fact, I believe it may have been for Black Friday of 2022. And these were a series of small batch mystery polishes. And the theme for these mystery polishes was the 12 Days of Christmas. I was unable to secure the entire series, but I did get quite a few from the 12 Days of Christmas mystery batch. So unfortunately, no official description, and they were a very limited release. And I wish I had had the whole collection. So here is 5 golden rings on my swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. You've got to have a couple of festive, sparkly metallics for the holiday season. I'm kind of undecided whether I want to aim to wear this one during the Christmas season or perhaps save it for more around New Year's Eve? I'm not exactly sure, but I just had to have a gold option, and I think this one just has all the beautiful sparkle. I love the color of that golden base as well, and those rainbows from the hollow. And again, this one is a little bit textured with one coat of a glossy top coat. I would probably wear this one with a glitter smoothing top coat or just a second coat of a regular glossy top coat to smooth this one out a little bit more. It's not too bad, but there is a tiny bit of sort of a sandy texture that remains. So this polish was by Fair Maiden, 5 golden rings. My final pick for my holiday rack, I had to go with a snowy white. This one is by Cuticula, and this one is called Snow Globe, and it came from their Frost in Wonderland collection. Snow Globe is described as a soft white base with green-pink shifting shimmer and silver holographic flakes. And as I said earlier, this was part of the Frost in Wonderland collection. That pink to green shifting shimmer almost causes iridescent rainbows to come through for this polish. And here is Snow Globe on the swatch wheel. And here it is against my skin tone. It's funny, on the swatch wheel, it looks so just white and plain compared to some of the others, almost like a palette cleansing polish. But then here, against my skin tone, there really is quite an incredible level of shimmer and sparkle that exists with this one still. Even though it doesn't have the same glitz of these metallic ones over here, or the incredible adornments and glitters and flakes of some of the others. Yeah, it still is really something special, this snowy white with that iridescent shine that to me reminds me so much of freshly fallen snow with the bright sunshine falling on it, highlighting that sparkle. Just a really beautiful polish. So this final one on my holiday December Festivus rack is by Cuticula, and this one is called Snow Globe. So that's it for my 18 holiday picks for this holiday season. I think I have a lot of versatility in these picks. Also, several of these picks can extend well beyond the holiday season and make their way onto my winter rack if I don't get around to them. Sometimes the holidays are incredibly busy and I don't quite get to change my manicure as much as I really hope that I can. I'm wondering, do you have a holiday or a December or a Festivus or a Christmas rack this year? What kinds of picks are on your rack? I'm wondering, do you have any holiday favorites? Please feel free to add a comment down in the chat. We can continue on the conversation, and I'd love to hear your recommendations. I live in a very diverse part of Canada. All the winter holidays and celebrations are up on offer in my neighborhood. So I do try to gear my polishes sometimes towards the festivals, the celebrations, the holidays that are happening at that time. Thank you so much for joining me for this seasonal rack. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I try to put out nail-related content as often as I can, and that way you won't miss out on any of the fun. Also, if you like these kinds of seasonal rack picks, please consider giving this video a like. It lets me know that you enjoy this type of content, and I'll make sure to produce more content like this moving forward. Thanks again for joining me. Wishing you a happy, healthy, and safe December and holiday season. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I see you in the next one.